So I'm currently at my third stop of 7. And like I was stating at my last stop, it's Monday morning. Right now it's slightly after 9 a.m. My final stop will end me up in Mount Pulaski, Illinois, I believe. And I have 2 skids that I'm dropping there. Another thing that I kind of wanted to touch on is I'm more than a week removed from the initial video that I made speaking on this dedicated route. And just as an update on the circumstances, you know, they greatly improved. I just want to give credit where credit is due. So the circumstances have improved. I'm seeing a lot more of the items being palletized and just in the dealings in general. Headed to my 7th stop, and I had to pull over here 10 minutes ago and readjust the 2 skids that I have left, which are kind of on the heavier side. Anytime you drop your pallet jack with a skid on it and it hit that floor in the truck and it kind of thuds, feel it shake a little bit, that means you got a little bit of weight on that particular skid. Well, I have 2 of those in the truck right now. And initially, I was just kind of trying to get the stuff on the truck pretty quick. I made a mistake, which I knew better than, of loading it to the left or the driver's side of my box, close to the wheel well. I had one centered towards the back and then one further forward, which is how you want it, you know, kind of balanced, but you also want them centered. So with me loading them like that, as I've been completing my last 3 or 4 stops, I drive this truck so much I can kind of feel when it's riding weird. So I could feel a difference in the way the truck was operating. So I decided to pull over before getting on the interstate and driving another 30 miles. So I moved that skid off of the driver's side near that wheel well, and I centered it. That way, you know, it balances my ride out. Oftentimes you can misload your truck and cause incidents such as flat tires and so forth. If your load's off-centered, especially if you're dealing near that rear tire, it's a good chance that you could possibly pop a tire because you're not distributing the weight correctly. So I didn't want to, like I said, drive another 30 miles in that manner, so I decided to go back there and adjust that. And yeah, now I'm back rolling and I can 100% tell the difference. So that's just something to think about, you know, when you're loading the trucks. I've seen trucks coming down the interstate and they're leaning. Like I said, if you load to one side, you're more likely to pop a tire. You're also more likely to lean, which is 9 times out of 10 going to catch the attention of DOT. So that's just something to consider when loading your truck. But yeah, I'm on my way now to my 7th stop. It's approximately 11 a.m. and I'm probably 40 minutes or so away. And upon completion I'll probably have another, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half or so. Something else that I was just thinking about for some reason today was Amazon Relay. And just this upcoming Prime Week, Prime Day, I don't know what you want to call it. Prime is usually 2 days. I believe the reason they call it a week is because we all understand that over a 2-day span, people get discounted prices on Amazon products. So quite naturally, all of those products won't be delivered within 2 days. You're gonna have hiccups. There are gonna be delays and so forth. So I think that's kind of why people refer to it as Prime Week, because it usually is a week or so that we see increased rates. And everybody knows October 8th and 9th, I believe it is, we're having another Prime Week. And if we judge off what we saw this last Prime Week, which was in July, it seemed that volume as well as rates increased substantially. So I know a lot of individuals now are hoping for a similar situation with this Prime Week coming up in October. And it's usually the same scenario year by year. Amazon kicks off the holiday season, peak season, with a Prime Week, normally in October, which is a time that individuals will use to get, like I said, discounted products before this big Black Friday sale we'll have at the end of November. Each year, Amazon kind of has a Prime Week, both in July and then October, if I can recall correctly. So like I said, it's a lot of individuals hoping that we'll see an increase in volume as well as the rate per mile for a lot of these loads that'll be distributed within the next 2 weeks or so. Like I said, it's a 2-day time span that most people have to place orders, and then those orders are fulfilled within like a week's time frame. Amazon has a lot of next day delivery, but all of their deliveries aren't next day, and even some of the next day deliveries don't always go as planned. I was just thinking, because it's going to be interesting to see how this Prime Week plays out. I myself plan to partake in the festivities. Everybody knows that I do this dedicated route Monday through Friday, but I talked to them now a few weeks ago about planned maintenance that I have coming up on the truck, and I've been kind of putting it off, just kind of trying to keep running. But I'm going to utilize Prime Week to take a couple days away from this dedicated route and pick up on some of the Amazon freight, because I'm also trying to get my performance score back to 100%. I'm currently at like a 96% due to an infraction I incurred probably almost 6 weeks ago. But we all know that Amazon is now requiring what I believe 6 to 10 loads. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's 6 to 10 loads that they want you to complete over a 6-week period of time in order for you to reset an infraction and your performance score back to 100%. So I'm kind of dealing with that right now, and the issue is I haven't been running a whole lot of Amazon over the course of this last 6 weeks. So I'm gonna have to, this is just my little strategy. I know it's gonna be higher volume during this Prime Week. So I'm gonna try to run 7 to 10 loads successfully. That way I go ahead and get my obligation of loads that I need to run out of the way before this upcoming peak season. And that's another thing. It's always a big debate each year about peak season. And I always say, we definitely each year, no matter what the circumstances, economy, or what may be the case, each year we've seen an uptick in volume as well as the payout on a lot of these loads. But the wild card, in my opinion, is DSP, because I've talked about this on a few different occasions, how in a lot of these Amazon fulfillment centers, when you enter these facilities, it's half and half, and you're seeing half DSP, half independent contractors, and Amazon still seems to be steadily growing that fleet of 26-foot box trucks. You see them more and more every day in different areas. So that, in my opinion, is going to be the wild card. What's going to actually be left out for the independent contractors and what will be allotted to the DSP personnel. That's what I kind of think about and focus on, because I already know, just from this being my 5th year in business, that I haven't seen a year that freight volume did not increase towards the end of November into December. What's coming to a question more often than not is, like I said, what the rates are for these particular loads. Each year we see an abundance of loads, but it's what they're paying out that's left to be debated. And like I said, with DSP in the picture, we gotta wonder how much Amazon is gonna be willing to negotiate on a lot of these loads. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I'm 100% sure that volume will increase, but I'm anxious to see what the rates will be for that volume. That was just something I was thinking about. I know a lot of people are gearing up for this 4th quarter box truck. Pretty much what it is. You know, it's prime time, showtime, whatever you want to call it. But this is the time of year that a lot of individuals start box trucking companies for. A lot of people's success, believe it or not, hinges on peak season. Mid-November into December, into the end of the year. This makes or breaks a lot of trucking companies. What you'll see is mid-January, a lot of individuals, once the freight volume drastically decreases, you'll start to see a lot of individuals exit the space. And that's because a lot of individuals, as I just stated, hinge their company on peak season earnings. And oftentimes, if they don't get the results that they expect, they quit. I mean, we've seen that the space as well as in social media year after year. You'll get a bunch of I quit videos mid-January, early February into March. And the sentiment usually starts to change mid-April into May once people have recouped from all of the money that they spent during the holidays and so forth. So just prepare yourself. It's something that, like I said, I see year after year. Individuals, you know, hinge their success on, like I said, peak season earnings. And when they don't see the results they want to see, then they exit. So prepare accordingly, and whatever success you may see, you're going to want to be trying to put something away for January, February, and March. It's just common sense. But a lot of individuals tend to eat up a lot of that profit during the Christmas season as well as into early January, you know, when it's slow. So that's why I wanted to touch on this, just to warn individuals to be preparing for the slow season before we go into peak. You kind of want to be thinking about what you're going to be doing mid-January, early February. Are you going to take some time off? Do you have something dedicated set up? Can you find something dedicated? Because, yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of dismay in the first quarter of 2025. And we're entering the fourth quarter now. So this is all the opportunity for you guys to win. That's why, like I said, I'm touching on it now. Right now, I'm 30 minutes away from my final drop on this Monday afternoon. And after this, I'm gonna head home and take care of a few things pertaining to business. I should be done at least by 2:30 p.m. at the latest. But I also want to get more consistent, which is natural with it being the fourth quarter. It's going to be a whole lot going on, but I need to get more consistent with dropping these videos. If you made it to this point, do me a favor and hit the like button. And I'm going to end this here. But as usual, you guys stay safe out there. Take it easy and have a good one. Appreciate you.